All right, folks. Good morning. Good morning. It is Monday, January 11th, 2021, and my name is Mr. Tuttle. Some of you maybe already knew that, but maybe some of you didn't. So if you didn't, it's nice to meet you. Like I said, my name is Mr. Tuttle, and I am here to kind of kick things off for Math 169. This winter semester. Yeah, so it is, I guess it's nice to have you here. I can't really see you. I don't really know who is out there, but later this week, of course, I will get to know you all as we, as we kind of get things going. So, I mean, I suppose the main goal for this sort of intro video is to talk about the syllabus, and I think I mentioned that this video is about the syllabus, so you're probably like, yeah, we know this video is about the syllabus. But there's some other things, like, I wanted to have some coffee. That's one of the other things I wanted to do this morning. And then maybe say a few things about myself, just in case. Of course, if you have other questions about, if you have other questions for me, later in the week or in the semester, you can ask them, but let me just kind of say a couple things right now. Let's see, what should I say? So yeah, I've been a teacher for a while. It used to be easy for me to know how many years I've been teaching, but I've been teaching for long enough where I actually have to think about it now, which is kind of weird. I think I've been teaching for like 12 years, 13 years. I don't know, I'll have to go do the math. But this is my 6th year. I'm in the middle of my 6th year at WTMC, and yeah, I've been teaching math and physics here the whole time. What are some other things? I have a very brief background in engineering. Back in the day, I studied engineering and then later decided to become a teacher. I live in Ann Arbor and have 2 dogs. I have a daughter. And I'm sure at some point in some of these videos or in some of our synchronous Zoom lessons, or Zoom classes, my dogs will make some kind of an appearance, or my wife will make an appearance, or that's just how it goes when you are teaching from home, right? What else? I like to drink coffee. I do also like to drink LaCroix. These are also some things that will make frequent appearances in these videos. And I don't know, I guess that's probably good for now. So it's probably the next thing I'm going to do is I'm going to take a look and go through some of the high points of this semester's syllabus. And as I look through the syllabus that I posted the syllabus to the Blackboard site, so if you go there and open that up, you can follow along with me. As I go through this, like I said, I'll just hit the high points. Some of the other stuff I'll just have you read, and it's, if you've read a few syllabi before, then I'm sure you kind of understand most of the stuff that's in there because you've seen it over and over again. But okay, let's take a look. So at the top, this is Middle College Math 169. My name is Mr. Tuttle, James Tuttle. My contact information, there's my email address. So if you ever have questions or concerns, email is the way to get in touch with me. Our meeting schedule, this is probably one of the most important things to take away from today. Our synchronous meetings, right? The days where you will sort of need to be logging into Zoom for some live virtual meetings. If you're in third hour, okay, if you're in my third hour class, then we will be doing that on Tuesdays and Thursdays from 12:30 to 1:50. Okay, so that's the time period set aside for third hour. If you're in fourth hour, Tuesdays and Thursdays, 2 o'clock to 3:20. That's the time set aside for fourth hour. Okay. What will happen on Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays? Those are the asynchronous meeting times. So on those days, you should also be devoting that time to math work. And I will always be available during those times for office hours meetings in case you have specific questions about things or stuff like that. Okay, on those asynchronous days, I will post videos, kind of like video lessons to help you with whatever homework assignment you have for the day, and that's kind of the way we'll do things, right? Speaking of office hours, if you want to schedule a meeting with me, then there's the link to my calendar, and you just kind of go there, and you sign up for an open slot. Okay. Course objectives. This is one of those things. It's like, yeah, this is basically an algebra class. It's the precursor to this is the last WTMC math class you'll take, right? After this, you will be ready to take Math 176 at the college, and so this is kind of like a big portion of Algebra 2, right? If you're wondering, like, what is this class actually? Math 169 doesn't really mean anything to me. This is Algebra 2. If you're thinking of it that way. All right. Required texts. You should all have a textbook. It looks like this. It is the same book that you used for Math 097. Okay, it's just we're going to be doing the chapters that you didn't hit in Math 097. So you need that book. Take care of it because we gotta use it again. And what else do you need? So you need access to some kind of calculator. Okay, if you have a TI-83 calculator, that's cool. I just reorganized my office, and so I don't know where mine is right now, but you know what they look like, those graphic calculators. But since this is an online and virtual class, you'll be with your computer as you are doing the work for this course, and so we can talk about how to use Desmos. There's lots of calculator apps out there that you can access through the computer, and so if you have questions about what you're using for a computer, then you can ask me. All right. And then the last thing is, if this was an in-person class, if we were doing this kind of the old-fashioned way, we would talk about binder checks and things like that. You'd be getting all kinds of handouts every day, and you'd have to have a place to put those things. You'd be in class taking notes, as I was up here at a chalkboard or a whiteboard, talking about math and stuff like that. So you should still think of it that way. You should still have a place to put all of your notes, and you should have a place to put anything that you print out. You should still have a notebook and keep that organized. It may be even more important to have a place to keep all your stuff organized because I'm not going to be there in person to kind of give you that constant feedback and to kind of help you find things. Having a good organizational system is still important, even if we are doing this virtually, right? Okay. So, what's next? Grading structure. That's pretty straightforward. Homework and quizzes, 25%, tests, 60%, and the final exam is 15%. So there you go. Hopefully that adds up to 100%. If it doesn't, I'm sure someone will tell me. All right. Okay, so what's the deal with homework? So I will be assigning practice problems pretty much every day, unless we have a test or a quiz or something. And you'll get those assignments. You'll get one of those big assignment sheets at the beginning of every unit, and then day by day it'll say, here are the problems that you have to do. Okay. You should do those every day that they're assigned. You should think of them as being due every day that they're assigned. But I might not collect them every day. You know what I mean? I might not. It's really good. yeah, I might not ask you to turn them in every single day. So what I say is, where do I say it? Oh, will be graded periodically for completion, right? So you should be prepared, like probably once, at least once a week, maybe twice a week, for me to say, oh, by the way, could you please take a picture of today's completed assignment when it's finished and submit it to Blackboard? Okay, so we can, if you have questions about that, or if you know, I could say more about that later. But that's the way that we're going to do homework this semester. And in order to be counted as a complete assignment, it says here, you can't just put the answer in here. It's kind of in italics. Clear evidence of problem-solving strategies must accompany answers/conclusions for homework to be granted full points, right? And again, we could talk more about this once we get things going. Once you submit that first assignment, I can give you some feedback on what I really mean by evidence of problem-solving strategies, right? But essentially what it means is show your work, right? So that's that. Yeah, and then like it says here, I'll just ask you to take pictures, and then you'll post those pictures to Blackboard. Yeah. We will use other things, right? So we'll probably use like Edge Elastic and some other online things for homework and quizzes and warm-ups and you know, exit tickets and stuff. But I do also want to keep it old school and have some, you know, actual pencil and paper, you know, because I think that's important. Okay. I will accept late assignments as it says here, but before I accept a late assignment, you'll have to talk to me so that we can have a conversation about, you know, why it was late and, you know, stuff like that. Okay. So I will always accept late homework. But you got to schedule a meeting with me before I will accept it. Okay, that's the policy there. Yes, so homework quizzes, I will give at least one quiz per unit. I call them homework quizzes because they're open note, right? So that's another incentive for you to have your homework done, is that you'll be allowed to use that homework and use your notes as you work on the quiz. Okay, there's no retakes on the quiz, because it's open note. So if you're prepared for it, you got everything you need, you shouldn't need to, hopefully you shouldn't need to worry about a retake, okay? Unit tests, I think. Unit tests are self-explanatory. I believe there's 6 of them, if I'm not mistaken. And again, if there's some reason why you're not going to be able to submit that, you know, by the due date, then let me know, right? Communicating with me about that is really the most important thing. If you don't communicate with me about it, then that becomes a concern for me. And, you know, so if you're having an issue with submitting a test on time, always let me know and we can talk about how to work through that issue, okay? Final exam, yep, in the last week, basically on the second to last day of the semester, you will have a final exam. And of course, there will be a few days devoted to preparing and reviewing for that final exam. Okay, second page, policies and procedures. So attendance, this is an important one. And I just realized I do this every time, where I say, I'm not gonna read through the entire syllabus. And then of course, I read through the entire syllabus, but anyway, yeah, so attendance. So 2 procedures for taking attendance on synchronous days, on Tuesdays and Thursdays. I'll just do attendance by seeing who's there in the Zoom class, right? So that's pretty straightforward. On the asynchronous days, those would be Mondays, Wednesdays, and Fridays. And this is going to be the same way it's done in every class, and so you've probably heard this already, but there in each Blackboard course, there's a link called attendance, and say it's on a Monday, you go to the attendance link. There will be a folder called Monday. You go, you know, to the day that's appropriate, and there's a simple test that basically says, "Are you here?" or something like that, and you click yes, and then you'll be marked present for that asynchronous day. Okay. There's probably going to be some questions about that as we get things going, but for now, let's just kind of see how it goes. But that's what we'll do in terms of attendance. Academic integrity. Okay, this is an important one because you know, when you're doing things like like, quizzes are open note, right? But if you're basically passing your quiz over to like your, I don't know, if you live with some kind of math genius, right? You got a sister or brother or cousin or parent or someone who's giving them the test to do, or doing something that's really kind of cheating. I'm not going to know. So all I can say is don't do it. You've heard all the teachers in your life saying you're not cheating on the test, you're cheating yourself, blah, 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 blah. It's actually a pretty legit thing to say, because if you kind of cheat your way through this class, and I don't think anyone's going to do that, right? But if you cheat your way through this class, and then you get to Math 176, all that means is you're not going to know what's going on in Math 176, and you're kind of going to dig yourself a hole. If you're having trouble and you feel like you're tempted to kind of like cheat on something, what you should do instead is make a meeting with me, and we can kind of talk about like ways that I can help, so that you don't feel like you need to do that. Okay. For major assignments, probably just for tests, at the bottom of the test, I'll basically have you sign something that I call the T-Money Honor Code. And so that's just like another step. You'll say, hey, I didn't cheat on this. You'll sign and date your name. It's not a legal document or anything, but it's an honor code. So we'll hopefully take that seriously. Okay. One of the last things here, transition to WCC. So in order to move on from this class and go to Math 176, here are the things that have to happen. You got to have an 85% in the course. Okay. You got to have an R in soft skills and no N's in any other class. Okay. You got to have your 6s for your AccuPlacer, of course. And you have to take this math test called the ALEX test, and you have to score at least a 4 on that ALEX test. Okay. We'll talk more about ALEX later. But here's kind of the way that this is going to roll out is, we'll talk about how it is that you sign up and you take it, and then I'll ask everybody to take their first attempt on the ALEX by February 8th. Okay, so you'll sign up for it, you'll take it, and that first submission, that first attempt at the ALEX needs to be complete basically by February 8th. Okay, if you get a 4 in that first attempt, then you're done with the ALEX. You don't have to take it again. Okay, but probably a lot of people are not going to. It's that first attempt is basically just to give you a baseline. Many people will probably have to take it at least twice. That's just how it goes. So if you don't get a 4 in the first attempt, then you have to sign up again and complete your second attempt by March 4th. Okay. Same thing after the second attempt. If you're still working on it and you still are trying to get that 4, then your third attempt is due by March 30th. And then if you still need to, you can take it kind of almost as many times as you have to. Okay. So but there's no due dates for the 4th, 5th, 6th attempt. After that, we'll kind of like work on a plan and stuff like that. So I'm sure there'll be questions about ALEX as we move forward. So for now, I'll just kind of leave it at that. But if you're putting things into like a calendar, right, and you're kind of like set important dates up in your calendar, there's 3 dates that are pretty important right there. Okay. Speaking of calendar, oh, look at that. Yeah, so here's all the stuff we're going to be doing. Again, you're probably going to look at that and be like, well, it just looks like Algebra 2 to me. But if you're really curious about what are the actual specific things you're going to be doing and learning in this course, well, there it is. Okay. Let's see. Yeah, and then in terms of your calendar, if you want to set some specific dates, pencil these ones in, these unit test dates. Because I guarantee you these will change. At least 1 or 2 of them will change, because there's some flexibility in the schedule. If we need to take a few extra days in a certain unit and we need to push back a test date, that might happen. If there's like a worldwide Zoom outage or something, then we might have to push things back a day or 2. Who knows, right? But for now, these are the anticipated test dates for the semester, and then there's the date for the final exam, Thursday, April 29th. That you can write in pen because I don't think that's going to change. Okay. All right. So I think I've said enough. Hopefully that wasn't too boring. If you have any questions, kind of make a note of them, and then we'll kind of go over them tomorrow when we meet in class. Oh, that's another thing. You should be seeing in the Blackboard site a link to the Zoom, right? And then you have to register for that and everything. But yeah, I think that's all for now. Yeah, I think that's it. So I look forward to meeting all of you. Have a good rest of your day, and yeah, cheers. I'll see you tomorrow.